Hello everyone and welcome to the KMTRADERS channel. So a little bit of a different video today. So just doing a bit of research behind the correlation between the coronavirus and the relation to some of the markets. So I just wanted to take a look and just show you a few charts and try and process this information to kind of bridge the gap between what this actually has an effect on the finance market. So essentially what it is if you obviously haven't heard the news around it, but it's an outbreak that's occurred in China, and it's a virus that causes like a range of common cold illnesses which applies to animals. But eventually it's now spread across to humans. So obviously this is a really big deal in the epidemic world. So now how this actually applies to the market is that whenever there is a natural disaster or there's an epidemic, that it does actually affect the market in a sense of the economy. Now, because this actual virus has actually broken out in China, that has actually affected the economy, and so obviously the amount of money that brings into the Chinese economy and all its exports with the US and all the other relations actually does have an effect on the market. So what we can just show you right now. Um, so the actual finance market is under pressure right now. Majority of the money is pushing into more of the safe haven asset classes. So I'm just going to show you gold as of now. This is a daily time frame. We've been continuing the push to the upside ever since the Iran and the US war tensions has been continuing. But if we just step it lower, the breakout in this gap especially was the start of the 24th of January, and that's when the news of the epidemic occurred. So I think there was about 56 people being affected or killed due to this cause. So there was a large gap in the market, which obviously pushed a lot of people to buy more gold because it's a safe haven uh, uh, asset, really. And if we check some other pairs that are safe haven classes, such as the Japanese yen, they all follow a similar pattern, which I've noticed here. So I've kept the charts nice and simple, no indicators as such. We already followed this pair on our channel on the daily analysis video, so if you want to check that out, do so. But I just want to focus your attention on the print of the pairs of the Japanese yen. So the US dollar Japanese yen more or less looks like this. So we can see that after that news breakout, we had that huge fall to the downside. Now we could have a market correction as we are currently making a new high from the last couple of, well, last few days. But if we have a look and check out the other Japanese yen pairs, we can see that we're all in this similar pattern here. We're on the verge of breaking out lower. I'm not drawing this one in. Let me just draw it in quickly. But we can see that on some pairs we have broken out. So the euro, Japanese yen, New Zealand, Japanese yen. If we just quickly draw, we are currently on the breakout on the downside, really. So essentially what this is showing is that the Japanese yen is gaining strength. And we can see that this could obviously show that this virus is having a effect the on the Japanese yen and the safe haven markets, really. So what we are seeing right now is that big push to the upside, and all the other pairs are more or less melting, really. That's all I can say, really. USD JPY. What my focus is right now is I'm paying a lot of attention to the Japanese yen and how it's relating to that news that we've just had. So the coronavirus. So there is a lot of potential within this pair. So if I just quickly step it down to the 4-hour time frame, I mean, if you were to digest this information, and put the technicals behind it, we can see that we already started to break out earlier of this trend on the 17th of January, and that was before any of the news actually occurred because of the obviously of that weekend. If we step to Swiss franc, like I said again, 17th of January, we already started to break out. So this is one particular rule that a lot of people get confused with, like my type of style. So I focus more on um, the technical sides, just purely based by the fact that this is just one thing that keeps cementing to myself is like the news comes out way earlier, way later, and the market is already more or less decided that it's transitioning over. So this is why I more or less are heavily based on the technical side, and what I do need to do though to improve obviously is my fundamentals, hence why I'm starting to create these types of videos. But I just thought it was interesting just to show you my scope of view, my like outlook on the relationship with the coronavirus and the finance market really. So yeah, so the final thing that I just want to leave off here is um, just a key point between the fundamentals and the technicals really. Um, it purely does depend upon your trading style, and you need to obviously figure out what works best for yourself. This channel is dedicated for to teach you the technical side of trading, which is easy to be honest, but it takes a lot of time for people to kind of understand. That's why we produce these daily videos as well, to show you a simple method. Um, we only cover 4 forex pairs, but you can apply them on all of the other forex pairs as well. But this is just one key prime example of where the technicals show you where the market is going to move towards before a big news event actually occurred. So just quickly before I end the video, if we have a look at gold, the technicals actually showed a big breakout of this downtrend that we have here, and we're still currently in this gold trade. So we need to see obviously what our target levels are. But you can obviously have a look further on our analysis videos on that. We specifically cover gold. But what I'm trying to get at is that we actually broke out way earlier on Christmas Eve, more or less, before the actual Iran and the US tension started to occur. So this was when the Iran leader got assassinated, and obviously the key driver here was that war tension and that whole build up, and it dragged and it pulled us all the way to 1610. So this is why I do believe the technicals do provide a good insight of pre-analysis of where things are likely to occur, but fundamentals do apply in other areas as well. So it's important to kind of balance both around. So that's what I'm going to try encourage on this channel as well, to get both sides of the argument really here. So I will be covering more on the fundamentals as well as the technicals as well. So yeah, so that will be all from us on this video specifically. If you do want to follow our strategy and how we teach the technical side, just have a look at our daily analysis videos. They basically show you what we look out for the next trading day, so essentially preparing yourself, and check out the weekly analysis videos as well. They are especially helpful to understand what we're looking out for during the week. So yeah, so that will be all from us. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next week.